This motor is constipated. Come on, out you come. There you go, buddy, out you come. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to D-Mop Garage. We are working on the 52 barn door. And for the people that don't know what this is, check out links in the description for past episodes so you can catch up. This is the Krankenwagen, and we are doing a restoration. We are diving into bits and pieces, trying to get things cleaned up. We have the gearbox down there. She is ready to rock and roll once again. You can see the engine case is split, ready for its magic that's going to happen inside it. We're going to get that cleaned up and start disassembling the other motor soon. Not quite yet. I've got to build another engine stand out of that mess there because we're running out of engine stands at the moment. What we're doing today, I've just taken one of the spring plates off because we need to, well, one of the donuts is she's gone. Yeah. Anyway, we got to get these guys off the suspension army whacker weirdy thing. I don't even know what you call this thing. I suppose it's a dampener. Does the job of a shock absorber, and it still works perfectly. But of course, it's not acceptable to my standards. We need to take that off and clean it and repaint it. And in order to unscrew that, I thought might as well take the spring plates off, get those cleaned up as well. Now, to undo it, I actually thought that you had to get the bolts in from this side, but it doesn't look like it. It's looking to me like it's the other way. But where the hell how do you get to this? Where are the bolts? Oh, there's one there and one here. Okay, they're going to be a little bit difficult to get out, but we will manage. All right, well, while I've got it down on, it's actually sitting on the jack stands at the moment, just because I needed a bit of clearance here to get the plate off. This being the plate, and you can see that rubber bush is completely clapped out. So we'll give these some Nico loving as well. All right, let's jump over to the other side and we'll quickly take that one off as well and keep on rocking. Okay, 17 mil, we'll take off the plate. Remove Mr. Huh, interesting. Well, these ones are all right. I mean, well, no, actually, no, they're not all right. I tell a lie, they're clapped out as well. Okay, let's force this little sucker out. Now, it's not under tension because I can tell by there. And that should just rock on out. And I don't actually want to remove the spline from the inside, so I'm just going to put this behind here. Okay, one spring plate removed. That donut looks, I don't know why I keep calling it a donut. It's not a donut. Come on, Mr. Donut. Yeah, she's gone, unfortunately. That's all right. These things are readily available. Get another one of those. All right, well, can go back in. Now we can put this thing back up in the air and try and get to these Chinese Lucky Charm shock absorber army things. Now let's have a bit of a look-see. Oh yes, so we do have 2 17s, one there and one there to remove, and it looks like they also have a locking plate on it by the judge of that. So we're going to have to peen back that plate. And that makes sense. I mean, you don't want this thing coming loose, right? So we're going to need a screwdriver. So if I do this, we need to and the top one's going to be a little bit harder to get to. All right, I might bring you guys back in when I've got these things off. Well, after about half an hour of trying to get these bolts off, we finally got them out. man, that was a job and a half, because you had to really come in from above here, and there was no room at all to get in there. What a job! Anyway, we started, you can see all the mess on the ground already. I'm just trying to scrape off all this caked on grease for 70 years worth or whatever it is. Yeah, just using whatever we can use, but we've got to get this whole area in here nice and clean because it's going to get painted, so paint ain't going to stick to grease, so I better just keep going. Okay, so after a couple of hours of cleaning in here, and you can see the mess down there, man, this thing was caked in like 50 layers of grease. You can see it looks like to me that it has been painted underneath here before, because obviously, I mean, I don't know, it's hard to see with the light, you know, the colours and stuff, but yeah. We're going to go put it all back to factory grey, which is good, but yeah, man, a lot of cleaning. I'm just using these shop towelette, heavy duty ones, as well as a bit of auto thinners in a spray bottle, and then a ton of rags. And I'm just rubbing any big, thick, chunky bit of grease. I'll just scrape it off with one of these scrapers. So I'll do that first, use that and just scrape off the majority of it, and then just wipe. And that's really the only way to do it. So I've gone over this about probably 7-8 times, and it's still, you know, in all the little pores and stuff. I don't know, man. Look, you know, the OCD kicks in a little bit here. I want it to be pretty schmicko under here. So yes, we will continue. Underneath, of course, we've got to keep moving under to here. And of course, we also need to remove that asbestos padding, which I've painted black just to seal up the fibres. We're going to undo these clamps here and try and reuse them. Yeah, look, it's getting there. It's just a lot of cleaning. There's all sorts of bloody spray under here. It's definitely been mucked around with before since the factory, so that's fine. Unfortunately, this part here is a bit dented, and I don't really know how to... I mean, this is a pretty solid pipe, so to try to get that, to pull it back out, yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. But that's definitely going to irk me looking like that. Anyone got any suggestions on that one? I thought about the oxy and then maybe putting the stud puller on it, but I think this is such thick-walled stuff, I don't think you're going to move it in a hurry. Don't know. All right, well, we'll keep on cleaning. I have actually gone over the guards and these rear sections here, just with a bristle brush on a drill. This one, just to get the loose dirt off, and then I've also used the drill with the wire little wheel on it too, just to kind of really just dislodge all the loose stuff, and then we can just keep going over it with the wipes and get it ready for... I'll probably put some phosphoric acid on the rusty areas, and then we'll KBS it and then put the grey colour on top of that. All right, on with the cleaning. Let's see if we can tackle all this stuff here. Are we having fun yet? So after a couple of days of cleaning, I've pretty much gone through the chassis about 3 or 4 times. It still needs more. It's just not 100%. It's getting there. It just takes a long time to, you know, get in all the little crevices and, you obviously want the paint to stick properly. I've actually run out of auto thinners. I've got to go and get another 20 litre tin, so I'm going to have to put this on hold. So I figured last night, I thought I'm going to fix the engine stand because I want to start disassembling the engine. So I'll just show you what I've made. It's pretty funny. So this is just an old engine stand I had, and I didn't have any pipe, but anyone recognise what these are? That is an old axle off that 58 gearbox that we found in the bush with the roof shooter with the 55 panel van. And of course the gearbox was completely knackered and these axles had been cut. So I thought, oh, that's perfect. Just welded that on there, and I can get my engine mounted on this. But here's the thing. So I'm halfway through welding and it was like, 8 o'clock at night and I'm like, oh, I want to get this job done. Ran out of welding wire, didn't I? So my machine only runs this size, okay, which has the big diameter wheel. And of course I didn't have any more welding wire and I wanted to finish the job. And I had this little spool here. And of course it doesn't fit the machine because you can see the spline's way bigger. So this is my janky setup to get it. I had to put a bolt through here, hold it with a pair of pliers so it wouldn't fall, and then vice grips there. And mate, you gotta just do what you gotta do to get the thing to work, and if it can work. So I'm gonna use up this whole reel. I've got to leave the door open and everything. It's like absolutely set up perfect so it won't just go flying all over the place. Yeah, the things you do when you're working at night and you're like, I've got to get the job finished. Anyway, I was laughing. You guys in Europe, I don't know if you know MacGyver, but MacGyver is my middle name most of the time around here. I tell you, just got to make things work. If you don't know who he is, look him up on YouTube. He's funny dude. Anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to get the 25 horsepower motor, which is inside the bus here. We're going to get this out. I don't know how I'm going to do it by myself, especially with a crappy back that I've got, but we'll try and work something out. All right, let's see how we go. First things first, we're going to get the jack set up to take the motor. And this is something I made a few years ago, which is what you do is you unscrew, take this part off the jack, and then this part here is just, you can see a bit of metal, the little cutout here for the side of the motor, and all I do is pop that on like that, put the screw back on, or the bolt, nut, whatever, and then that'll swivel, and you can pop your motor on. It's obviously not going to fall off, and that's it. So now we can place the motor on here and then we can jack it up, and it's just a safe way to get your motor in and out of the car without it falling off and doing crazy stuff. So, all right, we'll get this motor onto the stand and hopefully don't drop it, because that's always a possibility. Okay, so unfortunately I've got to take the flywheel off to get the bracket mounted because I don't have enough clearance here. 14 mil. And I would imagine that we're going to have to get a new clutch. This doesn't even look like it's had any bloody work. Wow. We'll probably reuse that. Just give this surface here a clean up. Cray cray, gland nut in the middle. Get a couple of screwdrivers and we should be able to get this off. Bingo. Done deal. All right, we can now mount our bracket on. Okay, here's my using the hoist instead of a block and tackle off the roof. I figured, yeah, I've just balanced the engine on the corner of the hoist here. Got some padding here in case it goes, it's nice and sturdy. It's not going anywhere, but we're going to raise it up and fandangle this into there and let's see how we go. Okay, let's put it back against the wall and we're good to go. All right, done deal. Okay guys, so I think that's going to do it for this week's episode. Next episode we are going to be tearing down that motor and let's see what's going on inside. Fingers crossed it's all going to be good, but it is seized, so I don't know what we're going to find. Anyway, thanks for the new subscribers guys, and we'll see you next week with the motor episode. You.